got a little excited there.
Hey, business pen. These nuggets pen.
Saw you got a little excited there. Saw that, you did the breathe in like you were about to yell.
It's Thursday, May 14th, 2020. How's it going, Matt Mascardi? I'm Damian Rollis.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Damian Rollis. I'm Matt Mascardi.
The hired guns of the ESG world.
Is that
ready to solve all of your ESG needs.
I like that.
And to
hired guns.
To provide awesome business news. What a great modifier. Awesome. It's my way of saying I have no idea what I'm talking about. I was a creative writing major, if you can believe it.
This is why we should listen to you about the business news.
Nobody can believe it. You want to just get at it, Biz Nuggets?
Yeah, I got some music for you. Can you hear it?
Yeah, let me start my clock. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's start off in our wars category. Travel firm TWE.
Wait, are you asking that as a question?
I'm trying to pronounce it without sounding like an idiot. The music's really loud, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I can turn it down.
Has pledged to reinvent the holiday in 2020 as it seeks to beat the coronavirus pandemic. It also warned that up to 8,000 jobs would go as it strives to cut costs by 30% in a major restructuring. So does reinventing the holiday mean some kind of permanent vacation? What is reinventing the holiday?
Just for the employees.
That's what it means.
We've reinvented the holiday for employees because they can't go on holidays anymore.
The Tesla standoff is over.
What do you mean over? It just started.
In a tweet, Alameda County said that following talks with Tesla, it agreed that the electric car maker can take steps in preparation for possible reopening as soon as next week. The county said it would work with police to verify Tesla is adhering to physical distancing and that agreed upon health and safety measures are in place for the safety of their workers as they prepare for full production. Musk tweeted, "The moon is a lie." He didn't really tweet
that. Who did somebody win here? Did the workers win coronavirus?
I think Alameda County basically won this.
I mean, what was that? What was that?
Right?
And
basically, like, screw you, Musk. We're gonna do this. We're gonna use police. So just shut up.
It's a good thing all policy is now done on Twitter, where boards don't have to weigh in anymore.
KLM passengers must bring their own face masks on all flights. Okay, that makes sense, right?
Obviously.
Here's the weird part. Children under 10 years of age are exempt.
Well, they don't get coronavirus.
Dear KLM, kids have mouths and noses too. Love a smart guy.
The funny part is, if you put the masks on the children, they would stop licking the chairs and getting the coronavirus.
Booking CEO says a coronavirus vaccine is needed to make travelers feel safe again. You know what else might help? Telling KLM that kids sneeze too.
And what is Booking?
you don't know what Booking is? It's the only app I use for my travel. I don't travel anymore, so I don't use my app anymore.
That's for the win.
All right, let's move on to big data. Let's start with Amazon.
Downer.
Amazon's Jeff Bezos is the only CEO who has expressed reservation about appearing before the House Antitrust Subcommittee. That's a shocker. And yet, same day in the news, top Amazon exec calls for federal price gouging law amid coronavirus scams. So
win-win for them. I mean, Bezos hasn't shown up in a factory. You expect him to go to the Senate floor? Like, what is? We got a level set here.
Also at Amazon to end wage increases and double overtime pay starting in June. Bezos has been frantically searching his pockets, but simply can't scrape enough cash together to continue that burdensome $2 per hour pay bump.
They're killing the $2 per hour pay bump?
Already, yeah.
You know what, actually? Bezos has suggested starting a Kickstarter for $2 an hour more for employees.
Let's move on to Google.
Ooh.
Eric Schmidt, remember him? Eric Schmidt?
Vaguely, yeah.
So he was the CEO who basically led Google's transformation into a tech giant. He has left the company, Matt.
What?
Except here's the thing. We're learning this now. He left the company in February. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Not to mention, when you say left the company, did he give up his shares? He has a lot of shares, doesn't he?
There's absolutely no way he gave up his shares.
Okay,
no.
So...
And I'm guessing this is one of the reasons why he left, so he can say things like this on CNBC. Companies will need more office space after the pandemic, not less.
It's kind of true. Like, if you want to have an office, now everyone's got to sit 40 feet apart.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is a big wrong.
Are you listening, WeWork? Are you listening, Adam Newman?
I'm going to put this in the wrong category. Google has also been scrambling to find enough laptops for new employees as staff works from home. Oh, I have an idea. Somebody can have Eric's laptop.
Don't they make laptops?
They do indeed. Google has also announced that it is finally unifying all of its messaging and communication apps into a single team. So Google Meet, Google Chat, Messages, Duo, a phone app, Sleepy, Grumpy, Hefty Smurf, Steve.
Eric Schmidt.
Speaking of communication apps, in China, Zoom is no match for Alibaba's video conferencing app called Ding Talk.
Wow. As names go, that's not up there.
Zoom placed 6th on that list in China. In 5th place was Whoop Talk. 4th place was Beep Mouth. 3rd place was Moop Face. 2nd place was Cheeky Chat. Actually, I'm lying. Yeah, what's the deal with these video chat names?
They're really terrible.
Yeah, they're all terrible.
They really are.
Let's move on to Zuck time.
Is that a time of day? A time of year? How do I measure Zuck time?
Matt made the point to me in pre-production, which I don't know if I should mention, but he's wondering how many times people have called him Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it is a curiosity of mine that he probably started Facebook, a place where no one would call him Mark Zuckerberg or Mark Fuck You Berg over and over again.
And I'm too classy to go into that. So
no. This is how I define you, as classy.
Membership in Facebook groups focused on violent anti-government uprisings in the U.S. has doubled in recent weeks. That's right. A Facebook group focused on violent anti-government uprisings. To get their message across, these groups are exploiting loopholes in Facebook's anti-violence policies using satire, code words, and other tactics that mask their motives. One of the more common such phrases is boogaloo.
We use the phrase business pants to mask the fact that we don't know anything about business.
I'm also guessing that Facebook's content moderators with PTSD do not like the word boogaloo.
I think you just triggered half of them just now.
Also in the news, Facebook is working behind the scenes to help launch a new political
advocacy group. Do they do anything in front of the scenes?
Launching a new political advocacy group that would combat U.S. lawmakers and regulators trying to rein in the tech industry. The organization is called American Edge. And it is using the playbook of the National Rifle Association.
Yep.
So it's basically formed a labyrinth of nonprofits and foundations and all these things, essentially to navigate a thicket of tax laws to help it raise money and hide who exactly is paying for all this.
As best practices go, I feel like the NRA is right up there with, best practices for governance, advocacy, winning.
Finally, Facebook is building a huge undersea cable around Africa to boost internet access in the continent. So Facebook and world domination is definitely a soothing thought. Oh, and also, Elliott Management and Scott Galloway, I know you're listening. Africa? Why
how
would they
dare
invest in
they?
Africa?
How dare they? If Mark Zuckerberg sets foot in that country, his board should excommunicate him. P.S.
Africa.
Is the cable around Africa what Libra actually is? Is that...
Interesting.
This is
right.
my working conspiracy theory. Boogaloo!
All right. Finally, in big data, there's actually some important news. And I don't really have a joke for this. File this in the French People Save the World file. Do we have that file?
Hold on, let me check my file folders.
Probably should. But here it is. Ready for this? Social media companies will now have only 1 hour to delete content related to pedophilia and terrorism.
Wait, what philia?
Pedophilia, sorry. And terrorism, according to a new French law, or a fine of up to 4% of their global revenue.
Global, wow.
Yeah, for other manifestly illicit content, companies like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat will have 24 hours to remove it. So France is doing it, getting it done.
24 hours feels like a long time, actually.
It does.
I mean, I guess it's extended. You can extend that time by the number of moderators that get PTSD finding that content. So,
yeah, and once again, as a reminder, the Supreme Court that Facebook is unveiling, the Supreme Court of Facebook, can do nothing to help with this.
nope, they're out.
Not their mandate.
They're out of this until it's down.
Yeah, exactly. At which point they've already lost 4% of the global revenue. All right, let's move on to Dystopia. Amazon built a roving robot covered in UV light bulbs that could kill the coronavirus in warehouses and Whole Food stores. But just to be clear, Mr. Roving Robot, your 2 hour per day pay increase is almost over. Don't get used to it.
They named the robot Marty. After the
Kramer
Stop and
on
Shop.
CNBC.
If you don't know who Marty is, look up Marty, the Stop and Shop robot that tells you there's a spill.
We've been quoting Kramer from CNBC a lot. I think it's because I've been watching Seinfeld reruns. So here's what Kramer says in opposition to Eric Schmidt. I see tremendous tall office buildings with nobody in them.
Did he also say, I see dead people?
I don't know. Let's move on. In Dystopia, pharmaceutical companies working on a vaccine and on drugs and treatments to fight the coronavirus are facing an increased risk of cyber attack. But maybe Google has the right idea. Just run out of laptops.
No, it's hard to cyber attack no laptops. This is true.
Staying in Dystopia, betting firms in the UK must check in with online gamblers after an hour to try to protect vulnerable people during the coronavirus pandemic. So you hear that, degenerate gamblers? Make sure you bet your mortgage in minute 57. This is pretty incredible. I mean, that's
well, doesn't that don't you shouldn't you just admit that gambling's not such a good idea if you have to check in with people? Oh, sorry. Rock me to sleep slowly.
In Dystopia, Okada Technology has been developing a robot that can guess what you want. But even if it guesses that I want a world without Facebook, what exactly is it going to do about that?
Does it get itself in a fist fight with Blender, Facebook's new AI?
I also want a chicken sandwich, so I'm guessing it can probably help with that. That's probably easy. Finally, in Dystopia, MIT develops a way to use wireless signals from in-home appliances to better understand your health.
Get out of my house.
Here's another idea, MIT. Invent something called a doctor or a nurse.
Honestly, why is everybody wirelessly going into my house? We have Walmart with like body cams delivering food in your refrigerator while a drone drops your Amazon package. Facebook knows everything about your friends. your all your devices send health information to Apple and the Singaporean government, and now they want to get in my house for what? For my appliances so they can make toast for me? Stop it.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the big gig. Our favorite ride-hailing loss-making firm, Uber, is in the news. Uber CEO says drivers should get healthcare benefits based on how much they work, and Uber would pay for it. Wow.
What?
Hey, Uber CEO, you don't deserve like this. It's like developing a policy where you kick your drivers in the teeth, but then announce a new program where you promise not to kick your drivers in the teeth and wait for the applause. That doesn't work. I'm not falling for this bullshit.
Wait, did he say should get health care? Like if
should.
So basically someone should figure this out.
Yeah. Speaking of Uber, Uber's European rival is not making layoffs even after sales plummeted 75%. Estonian ride-hailing firm Bolt, their sales plummeted 75%, but unlike Uber and Lyft, they do not plan on cutting its staff. Wait, what? I thought ride-hailing firms were forced by law to be a-holes. like this classic ride-hailing a-hole. Also in the news, Uber co-founder Travis Kalanick buys a $43.3 million Bel Air mansion while 3,500 Uber staff are laid off.
Well, he got ousted because they didn't want his genius at Uber anymore. There was no place for his genius at Uber anymore. Oh, and the groping sexual problems. Yeah.
Speaking of all what Matt just said and Uber's brilliance, Uber will require all drivers and riders to wear masks starting Monday. Yeah, it took them 2 months to develop this policy. 2 months.
Everything's reopening by Friday. So what are we doing? But is there an exception for kids under 10? Do I have to put a mask on them?
That's a good point. I mean, they should be licking away. All right, let's go inside the pants.
I love this category mostly because I like to hear you say, "Let's go inside the pants."
Got a variety of depressing and weird behavior. All right,
good, lovely.
First of all, women are struggling more with mental health under lockdown than men, and diverse percent of the millions of jobs lost. Traffic jams return in Europe as lockdowns ease.
Good. We learned nothing.
Oh, here's a good one for us. EasyJet founder is offering up to a $5 million bounty for information to terminate the company's Airbus deal.
Bounty?
This is something for. Yeah, so this is something for Free Float Media. If we can prove to them why they should terminate their deal with Airbus, we'll get $5 million. So let's get on this.
Like bounty, like Boba Fett?
Yeah, like if you come up with the information that proves why they should terminate the Airbus deal, we get money, money.
If you're Airbus, how do you feel about that exactly?
I think when you're dealing with a company called EasyJet, you know what you're getting into. What else is going on?
You're an SL away from the worst ride you've ever had in your life on Sleazy Jet.
A bad behavior whistleblower reports in financial sector rise 35%. Here's the quote. The rise may be attributed to the growing awareness of unacceptable business practices being reported in the media. Stories of executive misconduct or dysfunctional corporate culture have been a common feature of news headlines. As a result, employees may be more confident about reporting inappropriate behavior in the workplace. Free Float Media is taking full credit.
No, I'm going to tell you something. Their guess of why is totally wrong. Why whistleblowers have gone up is because everyone's working at home. There's nothing more comfortable than emailing or calling your whistleblower from the comfort of your closet while you're hiding from your kids.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's just a comfort level thing.
Bill Marriott.
There's a Bill Marriott?
Actually, a guy named Bill Marriott.
That's actually so surprising to me.
Will step down as chairman of Marriott 2022. Okay, this dude is 88 years old, and we're getting a 2-year warning on this, okay? And he's being replaced by his son, David Marriott. Why is this news? Why does anybody care about this?
Meanwhile, Eric Schmidt left 3 months ago, and we just found out about it.
That's right. Well, at least we now know there'll be a 2022, so that's reassuring.
Do we though? Do we?
Clean energy has shed nearly 600,000 U.S. jobs due to the pandemic, about 17% of its workforce. So that doesn't sound good.
It sounds better than other places.
Dunkin' Donuts transitions to paper coffee cups that are recyclable and sustainable, eliminating the use of styrofoam. But come on, Dunkin' Donuts. You could have waited until 2050 for this bullshit. What are you doing?
No, they successfully got it 30 years early.
And finally, JCPenney gives executives bonus for possible bankruptcy filing as JCPenney struggles with missed debt payments and prepares for a possible bankruptcy filing. It paid a $4.5 million bonus to its CEO and bonuses of $1 million each to its CFO, chief merchant, and chief human resources officer. Here's the quote. At JCPenney, we are making tough, prudent decisions to protect the future of our company and navigate an uncertain environment, including taking necessary steps to retain our talented management team.
Talented, yeah.
Yep, a store that nobody I know ever goes to, which is hurtling toward bankruptcy, definitely must be run by a talented management team that absolutely needs to be retained.
Can Amazon use their UV robot to wash the talented management team out of JCPenney?
I'm afraid of that robot. Let's move on to our apology tour. Indian police have filed a culpable homicide complaint against an LG Chem subsidiary over a toxic gas leak at its chemical plant in the south of the country that killed 11 people and forced 800 to go into the hospital for treatment from poisoning. Elon Musk just tweeted, "Get back to work." Banjo CEO steps down as fallout from revelations of past ties to the KKK continues.
Ouch.
Yeah. Hey, Leon Cooperman, why are CEOs under so much attack?
I can't figure it out. Maybe we should ask the CEO of Meep Talk or Mooby Talk or Mealy Mouth.
Jason Westbury, the CEO of the Australian Federation of Travel Agents, apologized and then resigned for comments about Tracy Grimshaw, the host of A Current Affair.
Yeah, we mentioned this yesterday.
Just talked about this. What did he say exactly? He said this. I think, this is a CEO, I think that Tracy Grimshaw needs to be given a firm uppercut or a slap across the face. It's nice. And what was he pissed about exactly? Discussion of the industry's failure to refund travel during COVID-19.
That seems like a reasonable response.
Stupid journalist. Hey, Leon Cooperman, why are so many CEOs under attack?
Is Leon listening to this show?
All right, let's some more unfortunate news out of cruise ships. More than 90,000 cruise workers in U.S. waters are still stranded on ships 2 months after the coronavirus pandemic began and are isolated for up to 21 hours per day in their small cabins and are said to be breaking down from loneliness and stress. Carnival said a 39-year-old crew member from the Ukraine was killed after leaping off its Regal Princess cruise.
Wait. Killed or
Well, he was killed when he hit the water, I suppose.
I mean, isn't that committed suicide? He wasn't killed.
Yeah. Well, killed by Carnival. Another worker was found dead in his cabin on the Carnival breeze. So that's what's going on with Carnival cruise workers.
Explain to me again why they can't let them off the boat.
Nobody
Does
knows.
anybody have any
Nobody
idea about this?
Nobody knows. But the good news is that Carnival has already announced, despite the fact that they cannot figure out what to do with 90,000 cruise workers, that they're already taking bookings for cruises starting August 1st.
The double good news is they don't have to look for a crew. They're just already on the boat.
Right, they're just there.
They're
They'll
just
already be there.
You're going to get on the boat. Everyone's going to be hairless, suicidal, and completely depressed and devoid of human, feeling and emotion. And they will be happy to serve you your breakfast buffet.
Boeing goes another month without a single airliner order. Boeing failed to sell a single airplane for the second time this year. A whole month without a single order, and another 108 planes were also canceled. Come on, Dave Calhoun, let's get this done. Come on.
He's not. He doesn't want equity from the U.S. government.
Finally, I'm gonna butcher this. Xiaomi CEO, cell phone maker.
I think that's right.
Xiaomi. Is that am I saying that right?
That's right.
Faces backlash after being caught using an iPhone.
Oh.
Elon Musk just tweeted freedom fries.
Well, maybe he could say he was doing op research.
Yeah, sure. Say whatever you want. All right, let's move on to the Blowhard Index. Big Baby Trump warns that rich guys could be talking down stock market to profit.
That's what Donald Trump is warning?
Yeah. So that couldn't be possible. Rich guys to the stock market? That sounds like bullshit to me. A Republican senator floats an idea for bonuses for people to go back to work instead of extending unemployment. He said it's based on a poem he wrote called "Let's Pay Poor People to Risk Their Lives So Shareholders and Executives Can Profit."
That's Shakespearean.
All right, that's all I got for Blowhard Index. Let's move on to deep fake meat. This is a bit of a long story, but I had to cover this. It's just so crazy to me. So CEOs say America is running out of meat while shipping ever more pork overseas. So as local public health authorities push giant meat conglomerates to close infected facilities, industry executives warned that doing so was pushing our country perilously close to the edge in terms of our meat supply and would break the food supply chain.
The edge?
But even as executives insisted on imperil the U.S. food supply, they were busily exporting loads of meat to China. While pork supplies tightened as the number of pigs slaughtered each day plunged by about 40% since mid-March, shipments of American pork to China more than quadrupled over the same time period. Just a week after Tyson CEO Noel White went on his complainy, whiny, meat sad tour, Tyson president Dean Banks told investors on an earnings call that exports to China were up significantly. So there you go.
Is this like
Brilliant.
when they send opioids to India after they're banned or regulated here? Like, is this like one of those situations where this is the pork that didn't meet basic U.S. standards, and they're just like, who will buy this? China. And then we can make a supply problem in the U.S. It's win-win for
like
big pork.
Brilliant corporate big meat, Musk, and Trump. I don't know what's going on. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on.
Can we not say big meat, Musk, and Trump as a set of words?
It's not my fault. All right, finally, let's go to CEOs rule.
Woo! Wait, do they?
I don't know. Let's wrap up this shit. All right, first, Chamath, our favorite CEO, prognosticator, our favorite blowhard. He calls Amazon's Jeff Bezos the best investor, better than Warren Buffett. Stop it, Chamath. Warren is the best. He drinks ketchup and Coke.
I think he puts the Coke on his ketchup, and you need to get that right.
Departing AT&T CEO Randall Stephenson is retiring with a staggering pension account worth $64 million, enough to provide the 59-year-old with a guaranteed income of $274,000 a month for the rest of his days. He also holds at least $20 million in stock and options. Awkwardly, Stevenson recently warned that AT&T's 250,000 worldwide employees could face layoffs. But the big news here is that this article is basically suggesting that he's going to die when he's 80 years old.
That was the news.
All right. I mean, they're the ones who calculated this per month figure. So do you think there are odds on this in Vegas? Can we bet on this? We have an hour to get our bet in.
At minute 59, I'm betting my car and my children.
All right. Finally, in today's Business Nuggets, here's a headline from CNBC that I don't understand, will probably never understand, and maybe I actually don't want to ever understand. But here's the headline.
I like the build-up.
It smells very musky in the morning, but here's the headline. Revenge spending. You got that? Revenge spending by the rich could drive luxury recovery.
Damn you, poor people!
What the hell is that? What is revenge spending by the rich? All right, that's it. That's Business Nuggets.
That's Damian Rollis. I'm Matt Moscardi. We are Free Float Media. These were your Business Nuggets for this week. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, share. This is the Business Pants podcast, but we also have the Biz Nuggets podcast where you can get a single nugget every day. And we got the Market Medium podcast. We are a podcast empire. If by empire, I mean as many podcasts as two people can reasonably do without sounding incredibly boring. So if you like it, tell somebody and go another step and go to patreon.com/freefloatmedia. Send us a latte. Be a patron of ours. We give you all sorts of extras and hugs and love. Otherwise, Damien, I'll see you next week for more Business Pants.
Yeah, we got some Patreon stuff in the works for tomorrow, right?
We do. We have patrons to attend to. Amazing questions that they're asking. So I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.